Les Gold, the larger-than-life owner of American Jewelry and Loan, became a household name thanks to Hardcore Pawn, the hit reality TV show that gave viewers a raw, unfiltered look into the world of pawn shops in Detroit. Millions were captivated by his quick wit, no-nonsense attitude, and the unpredictable chaos of running a family business. But behind the camera, the reality of Les Gold's life was far more complex than the show ever revealed. While fans saw him negotiating deals, managing eccentric customers, and clashing with his employees, Les was quietly juggling pressures most viewers never noticed. The fame from Hardcore Pawn brought opportunities. Yes, but it also brought scrutiny, personal stress, and business challenges that tested the limits of his resilience. Beyond the glitz of television, Les faced family tensions, financial risks, and the weight of maintaining a legacy in a business that was anything but predictable. From sudden threats of theft and fraud to navigating disputes that could easily escalate into violence, Les Gold's day-to-day life was filled with moments that were far more intense than any TV scene could capture. And while Hardcore Pawn captured some of the drama, it only scratched the surface of the story. The real story of the man behind the counter, the decisions he had to make, and the personal toll of living life in the spotlight of reality TV. This is the untold story of what really happened to Les Gold. The highs, the lows, and the reality beyond the cameras. Les Gold wasn't always a reality TV star. Long before Hardcore Pawn made his face recognizable across America, he was a small business owner in Detroit, working tirelessly to build a family legacy from the ground up. Born into a world where opportunity was scarce and challenges were abundant, Les learned early that success came through hard work, sharp instincts, and an unwavering commitment to family. Those traits would later define not only his business style, but also his public persona on national television. American Jewelry and Loan, the pawn shop that would eventually become the centerpiece of Hardcore Pawn, was more than a business to Les. It was a symbol of perseverance and survival. Operating in Detroit, a city with a complex economic history, Les navigated a daily mix of unpredictable customers, fluctuating markets, and occasional danger. Every day presented a new challenge. One customer might attempt to cheat the system. Another could unknowingly bring in stolen merchandise. And yet another might push the limits of patience with unreasonable demands. Through it all, Les maintained a careful balance of authority, negotiation skills, and empathy, qualities that would later become central to his on-screen appeal when the opportunity to bring his pawn shop to television arose. Les understood both the potential and the risks. Reality TV promised fame, wider recognition, and the chance to expand the business. But it also meant exposure. Every decision, confrontation, and misstep would be visible to millions. Les agreed not for the glamour or potential celebrity status, but because he saw it as a way to share his story, his family's story, and the reality of running a pawn business in a city often misunderstood by the public from the very first season. Hardcore Pawn captivated audiences. Viewers were drawn not only to the chaos of the shop floor brawls, arguments, and tense negotiations, but also to the dynamic within the Gold family. Les' interactions with his children, Seth and Ashley, revealed the generational aspects of the business, lessons passed down, responsibilities shared, and occasional clashes that mirrored real-life family challenges. While cameras highlighted some of the shop's most dramatic moments, they only captured a fraction of the daily decisions and risks that Les faced behind the scenes. Operating a pawn shop is inherently complex. It requires keen judgment, the ability to read people instantly, and a tolerance for tension that most outsiders cannot comprehend. For Les, every day presented a high-stakes balancing act. Accept too many risky items, and the business could suffer losses. Refuse too many deals, and reputation and customer trust could erode. On top of that, Les constantly had to maintain his employees' loyalty, manage inventory, and handle legal obligations, all while ensuring that the shop remained profitable. Reality TV might have amplified the drama, but it couldn't convey the constant mental and emotional pressure Les experienced as the ultimate decision-maker. Beyond the business, fame brought personal challenges. Suddenly, Les' private life was more public than ever. Friends, acquaintances, and even strangers reached out with expectations or unsolicited advice. The scrutiny wasn't always positive, and navigating public perception became a new skill Les had to develop. At the same time, the show offered unique opportunities, such as guest appearances, interviews, and the chance to advocate for local causes, allowing him to leverage fame to benefit both his business and his community. By the end of the early seasons, Les Gold had become more than just a pawn shop owner. He was a symbol of resilience, intelligence, and family values in an industry often sensationalized for drama. Hardcore Pawn transformed his life, but it also revealed the complexities of living under a reality TV spotlight, the need to constantly perform, the unrelenting scrutiny, and the personal sacrifices required to balance fame with family and business responsibilities. Les' journey, however, was far from over. While the cameras captured the loud arguments and tense negotiations, much of his story, how he navigated the hidden pressures of fame, handled personal setbacks, and maintained the integrity of his family business, remained untold. While Hardcore Pawn brought Les Gold national recognition and a new level of fame, it also revealed the often overlooked pressures that came with being a reality TV personality. Fans saw the fights, the bargains, and the occasional chaos in the shop, but behind the camera, Les was managing challenges that viewers rarely considered. Balancing a family business while living under public scrutiny created an ongoing tension that shaped both his personal and professional life. One of the greatest challenges Les faced was managing expectations, both his own and those of the audience. Reality television by design amplifies drama. Producers encourage confrontations, heightened disagreements, and sometimes even stage scenarios to make episodes more entertaining. Les, however, remained committed to authenticity. He wanted to ensure that while the show was engaging, it didn't misrepresent the people who trusted him or the reality of running a legitimate pawn shop. Maintaining this balance was exhausting, requiring constant attention to how every interaction would be perceived by millions of viewers. Les also had to navigate the dynamics of his family in the public eye. His children, Seth and Ashley, became integral parts of the show, but introducing family into a televised business brought unexpected complications. Every argument or disagreement, while natural in a family-run business, became a source of discussion and speculation online. Les had to manage these tensions carefully, ensuring that his family bonds remained strong despite the pressures of fame. Behind the scenes, he often mediated disputes, offered guidance, and reminded his children of the importance of professionalism. Even when cameras weren't rolling, financial pressures added another layer of complexity. Running a pawn shop involves constant risk. Accepting loans, purchasing items, and managing fluctuating markets all require quick, informed decisions. Fame could have made some things easier, but it also brought scrutiny from investors, competitors, and customers who now knew more about the business than ever before. Every mistake was magnified, and every success carried the weight of public expectation. Les had to remain vigilant, ensuring that the shop thrived financially while maintaining its reputation as a trustworthy, family-oriented business. Beyond the business and family pressures, Les faced personal challenges that were invisible to audiences. The constant spotlight meant very little privacy. Friends and acquaintances expected access, and even strangers approached him with requests or assumptions about his life. Social media, which grew increasingly important during the later seasons of Hardcore Pawn, amplified both praise and criticism. Les had to learn how to navigate this new environment while remaining true to himself and protecting the interests of his family and employees. Despite these challenges, Les Gold remained remarkably grounded. His resilience and commitment to his principles, honesty, integrity, and loyalty allowed him to continue managing both the shop and his public persona with balance and dignity. Unlike many reality stars who allowed the fame to overshadow their core values, Les used the platform to highlight the hard work, challenges, and humanity behind a business that had been operational long before cameras arrived. Hardcore Pawn may have been about entertainment, but for Les it was also about responsibility. Every episode, every scene, and every interaction represented real people, real transactions, and real consequences. Les understood that the show's popularity was a privilege, not just a source of income. He carried the weight of that responsibility quietly, ensuring that the shop continued to operate smoothly while the family remained united and the business retained its integrity. In short, The fame of hardcore pawn exposed Les Gold to a world far beyond the pawnshop counter. It brought opportunities and recognition, but it also tested his values, patience, and resilience. Behind every heated argument, every negotiation, and every viral moment was Eamon carefully balancing the demands of family, business, and public life, a balance few viewers truly understood. While viewers saw the fast-paced negotiations and colorful personalities of hardcore pawn, the cameras never fully captured the personal struggles Les Gold faced off-screen. Fame brought visibility, but it also magnified everyday challenges. Running a high-profile business while maintaining a family life is never easy, and for Les, the stakes were higher than most could imagine. One major struggle was the constant pressure of public scrutiny. Every decision, from buying merchandise to interacting with customers, was subject to criticism online and in the media. Minor mistakes could be exaggerated into perceived failures, while successes were expected and rarely celebrated as extraordinary. Les had to develop thick skin while maintaining the authenticity that had earned him respect from both his staff and customers. This meant navigating negative comments, rumors, and public misconceptions, all while continuing to operate a busy pawn shop in one of Detroit's most challenging neighborhoods. Family responsibilities added another layer of stress. Les' children, Seth and Ashley, were central to the shop's daily operations and the show itself. Managing their careers, guiding their decisions, and sometimes mediating conflicts required constant attention. While television highlighted select family tensions for dramatic effect, the reality involved continuous mentorship, long conversations about ethics, and ensuring that the family remained united under pressure. Les' role extended beyond business owner. He was a father, mentor, and protector, balancing professional obligations with the emotional needs of his children. Financial pressures, too, were ever present. Running a pawn shop involves risk, especially in Detroit, where economic fluctuations could affect customers' ability to repay loans or purchase items. The added element of television exposure sometimes complicated negotiations, as some customers attempted to leverage the cameras for attention or to manipulate deals. Les had to remain vigilant, ensuring that the shop stayed profitable while avoiding pitfalls that fame sometimes introduced. Every loan, every purchase, and every deal carried more weight than most viewers realized. Beyond practical concerns, Les faced personal health and emotional challenges. The stress of managing a public business, combined with long hours and constant decision-making, took a toll over the years. There were moments when the pressures of reality TV, business, and family responsibilities seemed overwhelming, yet Les continued to navigate them with resilience and determination. His perseverance became a testament to his character, a man who valued hard work, honesty, and family above personal comfort. Even as he confronted these challenges, Les Gold remained committed to his community. He used his platform to highlight the human stories behind the pawn shop counter customers struggling to make ends meet. People trying to reclaim valuable items and employees learning to navigate a complex industry. His empathy and integrity set him apart from others in the reality TV world, where fame often overshadowed ethics. Les' dedication to both his business and the people around him underscored the fact that the true story of hardcore pawn was about much more than drama. It was about resilience, loyalty, and compassion in the face of constant pressure. In reflecting on this period of his life, it becomes clear that Les Gold's experience on hardcore pawn was a delicate balancing act. Fame, family, and business responsibilities intertwined in ways that tested his patience, judgment, and values. The public saw only the highlights, the arguments, the deals, the drama, but the real story was far more complex. It was a story of a man who faced immense pressure, yet remained grounded, ethical, and committed to the people and principles that mattered most. Ultimately, Les Gold's journey reveals the hidden realities of life behind the cameras. Fame is complicated. Success comes with responsibilities, and personal resilience is essential. The man viewers loved for his candor and humor was also someone quietly managing countless pressures, ensuring that both his family and business thrived despite the spotlight of reality television. As hardcore pawn continued to air, Les Gold became more than a reality TV personality. He became an icon of resilience, business acumen, and family loyalty. Yet, the fame, while impressive, was never the ultimate goal for Les. He remained focused on preserving his family legacy, maintaining the integrity of American jewelry and loan, and demonstrating that hard work and ethical behavior could coexist with public recognition. One of the most significant aspects of Les' legacy is the way he managed to protect and mentor the people around him. Throughout the show, viewers witnessed moments of tension. But behind the scenes, Les was often quietly guiding employees, teaching his children about responsibility, and ensuring that the shop remained a safe and supportive environment. These mentorship efforts were rarely televised, yet they played a crucial role in shaping the next generation of the Gold family and the employees who worked alongside him. Les' leadership was not about asserting power, it was about fostering trust, respect, and loyalty. Another enduring element of his legacy lies in the way he humanized the pawn business. Before hardcore pawn, many people had a limited or negative perception of pawn shops. They were often seen as places of desperation or shady dealings. Les, through both his business practices and his television presence, showed the human stories behind every transaction. Customers were not merely numbers. They were individuals with challenges, dreams, and histories. Les emphasized fairness, honesty, and compassion, teaching viewers that a pawn shop could be both a profitable business and a place of integrity. Life after the peak of hardcore pawn brought new challenges and opportunities. With the show concluding, Les had to navigate a business landscape without the constant spotlight, ensuring that the shop remained successful in a competitive market. This required adaptability, strategic thinking, and continued dedication to his team and family. He also faced the task of balancing public expectations with personal privacy, as fans remained curious about his life beyond the cameras. Les managed this transition by staying true to the principles that had guided him throughout his career: hard work, honesty, and loyalty to his family. Les Gold's story also offers lessons for anyone facing high-pressure careers or public scrutiny. Fame and visibility can be rewarding, but they often come with hidden costs. Les demonstrated the importance of maintaining personal integrity, setting boundaries, and prioritizing family and ethical values over short-term gain. He showed that it is possible to succeed in business, thrive in the public eye, and still remain grounded in principles that matter most. Moreover, his influence extends beyond the pawn shop or the television screen. For aspiring entrepreneurs, Les' career offers a blueprint. Identify opportunities, take calculated risks, and prioritize both ethics and customer trust. For families working together in business, his story illustrates the importance of communication, shared responsibility, and mutual respect. And for viewers of reality television, Les' journey serves as a reminder that the most compelling stories are not always the loudest. They are the ones rooted in authenticity, resilience, and humanity. Ultimately, what really happened to Les Gold goes far beyond the chaos captured on hardcore pawn. The cameras only showed a fraction of his life, the deals, the arguments, and the moments of drama. The real story is about a man who navigated fame with grace, protected and mentored those around him, and maintained a thriving family business under intense pressure. Les Gold's life is a testament to the fact that true success is measured not just in wealth or recognition, but in integrity, perseverance, and the positive impact one leaves on others.